What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video is going to be the League 2 predictions. Is obviously really close to the season starting, only a week on Saturday, so I thought it would be a good idea to finally bring out the predictions. Very tough doing them, so if I do put your team in a place that you don't think this necessary, then please let me know in the comments. Please do like and subscribe as well if you're new, would be much appreciated on the road to 3,000 subscribers. But yeah, let's get into the video. So starting off in the bottom two, first rock bottom, I'm going to go with Swindon. I know they've obviously had the new takeover and new manager, but at the moment they've only signed 3 players. They still got a few players there, but a lot of players from last season have left, and they've only got about 6 or 7 players on the book. So I think it's going to be hard for them to get the right players in to have a good season. I think they'll go down. 23rd, I've gone with Sutton. Done amazingly well to get out of the conference and into the Football League for the first time ever. They signed some decent players like Boldvine and Donovan Wilson, but I just don't think they'll have the quality to stay up. 22nd, I've gone with Hartlepool just to stay in League 2. They've lost 2 big players from last season, Reece Oates and Armstrong, but they brought in some decent players like Olamola. They got a very good manager in Dave Challoner as well, so I think he'll do well to keep them up. 21st, I've gone with Scunthorpe. Obviously struggled big time last season, just managed to stay up. A lot of things going on at the club, angry fans. And they've made some okay signings, but I think the losses of Issa and Van Veen and a lot of the experienced players like Clark and McGeehee at the back have left. But I think they'll have enough quality to stay up. 20th, I've gone with Oldham again. Another club that's having a lot of problems. With going into administration. Angry fans, didn't have the best of season last year. I think McElhenney's going to be a big loss, but they brought in the likes of Hope and Clark and McGeehee from Scunthorpe, and good experience like Luke Weiler. So I think they'll have enough to stay up, but not the best season for Oldham. Next, I've gone with Crawley. Obviously started very well last season and end up tailing off, throughout the middle of the season. Still got the likes of Tom Nichols, so they got goals in the team, done well for them last year, but haven't really brought in much quality, haven't really lost many players either, but I think they'll, have a decent season in League 2. 18th, I've gone with Rochdale. A lot of people have put them up the top, but for me personally, they still haven't signed any players as of today. With just over a week of the season until it starts. They've lost the likes of Humphreys, Matty Lunn. The goals there are going to be massively that they've lost and haven't replaced. Still got the likes of Beasley, but I just think they'll have enough quality what they've got on the squad, but they won't be getting promoted in my opinion. 17th, I've gone with Harrogate. Had a decent season last year, and I think they'll have another decent season. I think staying up's really good for them. Good manager as well, good set of players as well. I thought they've brought in a brilliant signing in Armstrong, the one that fired a lot of goals in for Hartlepool. I think he'll do very well. And the likes of McArdle, good experience at the back, and Lewis Page, ex-Charlton and Exeter left back. Going into 16th, I've gone with Barrow. I think they'll have another decent season. I think very good manager, brought in players like Zanzala, Josh Gordon, but I think Quisley is going to be a big miss, but I think they'll have enough quality and goals in the team. Next up, in 15th, I've gone with Carlisle United. Again, started very well last year, but ended up tailing off, not the best second half of the season. Lost quite a lot of the players as well, such as Reece Bennett, Zanzala and Patrick. Brought in the likes of Clough and Merry from Wigan as well, but I just don't think they'll have enough for going for promotion again, and 15th for them. Next up, 14th, Stevenage. I think they've done very well in the second half of the season. First half they didn't do very well whatsoever, but they managed to have a really good second part of the season to consolidate them in League 2. I think they'll have another decent season. Likes of Chris Lyons and some other good players have signed new contracts. Brought in the likes of Jake Reeves, James Daly, ex-Rovers player as well, and I think they'll have a decent season. 13th, I've gone with Northampton. Lost the likes of Watson, who was quality for them, good goal scorer midfielder. Brought in a lot of players from Scotland, decent players, but I just don't think they'll have enough quality in goals to get in the playoffs, unfortunately. But like I said, if any of you, fans get annoyed of where I put you, please leave in the comments where you think I should put your team and where you think they'll finish in your opinion. Next up, 12th, I've gone with Port Vale. Obviously, ex-Rovers manager Dal Clark done very well last season when he come in. They were struggling until he come in, finished off really well. Brought in some decent signings as well, the likes of Tom Pett as well, and I think they'll have a decent season. Also, ex-Man United striker James Wilson, who had an alright season at Salford's come in, and if they can gel together and they've got a good enough manager, they could still get in the playoffs. But for now, I've put them 12th. 11th, I've gone with Newport. I think a lot of big losses for them, which I don't think they'll get in the playoffs. The likes of Sheehan, Tom King, Tristan Abrahams, Shepherd as well. They brought in the likes of Day, who obviously used to play for Newport. James Clark, who's a very good experienced defender, got promoted with Rovers out of the league as well. And Ed Upson as well. But yeah, I think they'll have an alright season, but I don't think they'll be fighting for playoffs this season. 10th, I've gone for Leyton Orient. I think Wilkinson and Johnson's going to be a big miss. They have got in a good manager in Kenny Jackett and some good players like Beckles, who's quality signing in centre-back, and the likes of Paul Smith. I think they're, defensively they're really good, but I think they'll struggle for goals. I don't think they'll get in the playoffs. 9th, I've gone with Colchester just to miss out. Brought in a lot of Ipswich players, as a lot of people have been talking about, the likes of Scouse, Chambers, Sears, Judge. I think they're quality players. I think they've got a good mix of youth and experience as well. But I think they'll just miss out. 8th, I've gone with Exeter again to miss out in the playoffs. They've done it again last year. Didn't do very well towards the end of the season, which made them finish outside the playoffs. They still got Matt J, which is a big bonus. Obviously lost the likes of Bowman. They've re-signed Sweeney as well, and Dieng. And yeah, I think they'll have a good season, but again, I think they'll miss out on playoffs. So yeah, going into the interesting bit, top 7. 7th, I've gone with Forest Green. I think they'll finish in the playoffs again. I think haven't really lost many players. They've got sort of the same squad from last season. Still got Jamil Matt as well. Obviously lost Aaron Collins, but I think Matty Stevens, who's been doing well for them in pre-season, I think is going to do really well, and I think they'll get in the playoffs again. 6th, I've gone with Mansfield. Obviously haven't done really well the last few years. Obviously they've got good owners, but hasn't worked out for them. But I think this year with Nigel Clough and the qualities bringing like Reece Oates, Johnson, they've got like Ollie Clark, the captain, good defence as well. And yeah, I think they'll have a good season and finish 6th. Walsall in 5th, I've gone with Matty Taylor as manager. I think they've brought in some good players as well, the likes of Wilkinson from Leyton Orient, Manny Montfort, who's a quality centre-back at this level, Newport's captain as well, and Josh Labadie. I think they'll have a really good season. Not been the best last few years since they've been relegated from League One, but this year I think they'll finish 5th. 4th, I've gone with Tranmere. Again, they brought in a lot of quality, the likes of Tom Davis, Callum McManaman, Paul Glatzel on loan, Dizabweri, the striker from Salford. I think they'll have a really good season, finish 4th. And yeah, 3rd, I've gone with Salford, getting into automatics now. I think they've brought in some quality players, all on free transfers as well. Haven't spent any money as of yet, as a lot of people like to call them, buying the league, but they haven't actually spent any money yet. Got in the likes of Lund, who's quality for this level, got over double figures in goals for Rochdale last year, and a struggling team. And then they brought in the likes of McElhenney on a free as well. They've already got the likes of Henderson and Asante. Brought in Tom King and Shepherd from Newport as well. So really good signings, and I think they'll finish 3rd. 2nd, I've gone with Bradford. Obviously, new manager, already been promoted twice out of the league with Plymouth and Morecambe. And I think they'll do really well. They brought in some good signings, the likes of Sonogo, Issa from Scunny, Andy cut back on a permanent. Sonogo, who basically goes everywhere with Derek Adams. But I think with the fans behind them as well, they get a lot of, 15,000 plus. And I think they'll finish 2nd. And 1st, you might call me a bit biased, but I've gone with my own team, Bristol Rovers. I know we've had a lot of trouble with Barton But he is back for the moment in time. I think we signed a lot of quality. I know a lot of our players still haven't played, the likes of Paul Coots and Sam Finley. But I think as the season goes on, I think we're only going to get better. But yeah, call me biased, but I think my own team, Bristol Rovers, is going to win League 2. But yeah, please leave a like if you enjoyed. Please do subscribe as well if you're new. Be doing lots of League 2 content. And yeah, hit the notifications bell as well. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.